Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and starting with the NASDAQ, and we'll look at the triple Q. And there's two types of patterns that are in the markets. Okay, so one of them is that we've seen this particular correction, been going quite some time, and then there's other markets like Google, for instance, that have just topped out now, so to speak, and Amazon's another one as well, and just having a look at Berkshire Hathaway here, because this is another one as well that's just topped out now. And the reason that I want to sort of show this, I'll just scrape in the bigger picture here from the, so this company has taken out the top over here, and it has a nice ABC pattern here, and it's taken out the top. So, the first step would be to consider that it's an impulse wave to the upside, and this wave one is pretty clear, it's pretty big, and wave two's there as well. And then we've got this next leg here, the wave three, so we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and quite clearly here is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here for the third wave. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we're going into wave 4 here. Now wave 4 comes back to the 38.2%, so that's over here. So it's pretty much around the wave 4 of one lesser degree and this movement here. So it's quite a way away at the moment for this. So if I just take this as a simple correction, then one would think that this move down here is, well, I can see that it's 5 waves, so it's not finished yet, though we've got 1 and 2 here, and we don't really have the 4th wave, and we don't have the 5th wave here just yet either. So we've got this here, and that would be wave A at minimum, and then we would have wave B, and then we'd have wave C here. Now it's also possible that we could probably extend this down further as 1 and 2 here, and bring this down for 3. Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty comfortable where it is. But what I wanted to say is that this move down here is going to get this, and then we're going to get this, and then we're going to get this, right? So that would be, this is the other pattern that's going on. So this could be, definitely Google's in this, Amazon can be in this as well, and there's probably a lot of others that around the traps, that I don't cover. But we've either got this pattern, or we've got the pattern that's that the markets have, a lot of the markets have done this A, B, and they're sort of in this section over here, or they're just starting down here, and all this sort of stuff. So, and there are markets like Tesla, Microsoft, and Apple, that this particular move up here could be viewed as a wave 1 with not coming back that far, not coming back as deep as the others, so that's what we're kind of looking at with some of those as well. So they'll either be 1 and 2 and move up from that point, or they'll break lower and come down and follow this particular pattern here. So the reason I'm showing this too is because this move here, right, this is going to come into the markets as well. So that B wave rally there, for instance, can come into this space here. Now, I would imagine that B wave rally would be some type of wave 4 here and then come down here. But what I wanted to say is that it could also come a bit higher as well and become a little bit awkward at this point. Do you know what I mean? So we could get basically, and I'll just keep it simple, as an A, B, C down to here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So more like a W, X, and Y over here. I don't think it's the case. I think we'll look at it as a wave 4 coming into play. But I just wanted to point it out. That's the sort of the caveat on the way down for some stocks here. So Google comes into this one. So we'll have a closer look Google when we get to that. So, but as far as this is concerned, then we're looking at the flat correction, which is the A, the B, and the C wave down here. And we can look at that a bit close without taking too much time. We'll look at more so on do this on the indices. So just carrying on from yesterday, we were looking at this as the ABC for the B wave, 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So it needs to play out further down here for this. So I was thinking, it would be this wave 4 here coming into the B wave over here for this. So I mean, yeah, so anyway, we'll just keep a bit of an eye on that. They should tune in together, that's all. So there's still a fair bit to go in all of this. So yeah, so we'll match those B waves up with wave 4s in some of the other stocks, be something of that nature. I mean, wave 2 here was quite big, so this one here could be quite simple here as well. So anyway, that's where we are for that. And the triple Q here, I've just had this here. So once again, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4. It just needs to edge its way down further for that. But we'll look at that more so in the indices. And coming over to Apple here, so we need to view this from the 180 area here as wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. So we're going to get a bit of a bounce off the 173 to 172 here. Not a biggie, coming back to this consolidation over here, and then we'll move down further from that point. So perhaps we'll look for a short trade over here for that, or you can do that. So once you've got this in play here, then this will be a bit of a 56. I don't think it's going to come that high, not where I see the rest of the markets, but we've got to put it in, and anything is possible. But really, to me, this wave 2 here will be about the top end of this this wave 4 area here, where most of the volume was turned out at that point. But that's where this is at the moment. And over to Amazon. Now, I've had Amazon as wave 3 over here with an A wave and a B wave and a C wave coming down here. So that's okay, but the reality, because I can count as an A and a B and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it counts quite nicely. It's a B wave up here. But at the same time, I think I still need to look at it as a wave 3 over here as well. So I'll just have that as a secondary count. Not that it matters in the short term. We're tracking this down as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then all of this is a third wave here. There'll be a fourth wave, and then this and this and this here. So we'll just see what where the rest of the markets are at this point. But yeah, Berkshire Hathaway has got this as wave 3. This top, and very clear for that. Google's the other one that we've been tracking up, and it was one of the sort of last to top as well. So those type of stocks, so they will need to, if this is wave 3 here, then all of this will just be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave coming down at that point. I'll keep tuning them in, and it will become clear along the way, but in the meantime, you can just enjoy the journey south on that. And we're over at NVIDIA here. So from the 450 area through here, we've had this as wave 1 and 2 here, and talked about shorting it. So 1 and 2 here, you can obviously bring the stop down. We'll do that in a minute. But 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 here, and then 5 for this. So it's a little down for this one, hit this trend line, wave 4 here, wave 5 here. So a bit of a bumpy road really around this level now. Yeah, so I'll just bring that into the 380 is really the one, but it'll be 390 at this point. So this number's going to hold it here for a while. So yeah, if you look, our short trades here will come out at just before the 400, and of course we can we can bring the stop down under this other short trade in here, and yeah, that just leave it at that, I reckon. Okay, so see, Meta Platforms is a little bit like Microsoft and Tesla. So these three have got the possibility of having wave 3 over here, putting wave 4 over here, and then having this up as wave 1 here, and then coming back for an ABC into this space and then moving up from that point. So it's possible, but otherwise we'll end up with, yeah, I don't really know the answer for these. What I do know is we can't go long. We don't have the long trade setup. We talked about looking at this as the top, and then this is the top, and we'll try to find another one over here. Otherwise, this low is going to be breached here. This is, you know, when a market comes through here, it's natural to retest this and then drop from that point. So it's definitely, even though it's sort of rallied back up here, this is definitely like bearish price action at this point. I can see the stochastics wants to push it up a bit further, so there may be like another little push to the upside, but it might be something like this and then down. I don't know, but you could short it under here if that rally came into play. But like I said, I didn't particularly want to trade this around this number here, because this is, all the trends are quite short and they're dangerous. So it's never a good idea to trade around a large number early in the piece, you know, or, you know, you have to let the pattern mature at the number before going in, and that's why our long trade would be above here. So I don't know if this is some sort of ABC coming down to this point, or we've got 1 and 2, and we'll look at this as 1 and 2, and we'll come down deeper here. I mean, otherwise it's going to come down and take out the low here, which is quite a distance here. It's a nice short trade, so I don't see any problem with shorting it here. And if that does rally here, to have a smaller position at this point, because it's doing all the right things. You know, if we were you know, looking to short this, it's basically dropped through, and we've got that low here, and then we're looking at this entry and this entry, looking for one more little push here. It can come back above the level as well. That's what come back above the level here. That's what the sort of stochastics are suggesting, but I've got it running pretty fast, so on these settings, so it may it'll drop, because this has moved further than the price has moved. So I can see the divergence in the indicators. So yeah, so a smaller position here, and this position over here, it's probably not the best way to look at that. As I always mention, you go from over here, go back over to the closest, largest price point over here. So this would come over here for this. So this would be a classic trading levels pattern here. So when this comes down here, you know, you're going to get some, eventually you're going to get some low below the level, and that's the one that's short. But if this is going to be bearish as well, this will probably be 5 waves down to here somewhere, down to this low, and then there'll be an ABC pattern coming back up here again. And based on that, you can just short the 50-60% in that space, or the second low here, that type of thing. You want the market to come to you rather than chase it, you know. Alrighty, so I'll leave that with that. Netflix, so we had a short trade in this and we're out, and yeah, I mean, I kind of like the count that I've got here as 3-4 and coming down here further, but other markets have still got a fair way to go with all of this, and I can see that this has got a beginning and a middle and an end here. But I think we just got to be a little bit careful. There might be something like, I've got this wave 4 over here, but there might be something like this to come down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going to trade it because it's already been bearish for so long, and I can see that it's sort of at the end of this particular trend. We may be able to get into the 5th wave here again, if that's even going to be the case. and then I'd probably need to fix this up here. You see where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here? I might need to bring this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 to here, and then 4 and then 5 to here, or something of that nature, or probably, but all that's part of that, so I'd have to bring it all the way down here, which is kind of okay as well. So this wave 4 here would end up being over here for that, and I don't have wave 3 low in just yet, but that also would be bouncing off deeper down here as well. So anyway, I think we'll get a bounce off the group 2 area here, back up and then down to finish off here. So it's a little bit messy. I'm not going to worry about it. And Alphabet has got that top in here. As you know, we've been counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is very much like old Bertie here. So you know, coming down for this wave A here, and then B and C here for this. So this is the, you know, this is the other pattern in the market at the moment, and it's very clearly showing up here. So in this instance here, we can just dive in here a bit more. So I've got 1 and 2 here, and I could put a bit more of this. Will be 1 and 2 in here, and 3 over here somewhere. I think we're in the 4th probably. I reckon wouldn't be too far wrong at this point. That will be 4 somewhere in here. There may be another swing up for that. You know what wave 4s get like. And then wave 5 down here for wave 3, and then there'll be wave 4, and then wave 5 here. It shouldn't be too long because the extension's in wave 3, so wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same. So that will be wave A here, and then we'll have an ABC correction here. We can look to short the B wave here if it's reasonably clear, and then wave C here should have some sort of equality to this one here. So we'll be able to track this particular one in line with old Bertie over here, and probably a couple of others as well. We may need to put Amazon into that basket as well, but that's the other count. So Microsoft is a little bit the same as Tesla and Meta platforms, in that we could view it up here as wave 1. It does count. We can count it like that. We can also count it up as an A and a B and a C, which I kind of prefer. So looking at all of this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave over here. So this wave 4 comes over here. So yeah, I think it's pretty much the case. So we've been looking at this as the A wave and the B wave, or 1 and 2, or did I just put the 1 and 2 in today? I can't remember. But anyway, that's what it would be like. That's definitely 5 waves down to this point. It looks like it wants to kick up here, doesn't it? It looks like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for an A wave, a B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I might just go into this for a moment and just double check on this. So we're on 100 ticks. We'll go to 10 ticks and just check on this pattern a little bit here. Well, this will be 1 and 2, and the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave. So we've got an A and a B, and this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roughly. So we've got this over here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, to cut a long story short, is that this can be an A, B, and C here, and rally up here, and then come down at that point. If it drops below this point here, then we'd need to look at this as wave 1 and 2, and 1 and a little A, B, C here for 2, and then drop at that point. So you could short it under here, but there, you know, it doesn't really matter if that's 5 or 3 really, because the A wave can be 5 or 3, so it's not going to help us that much. But this is pretty clear here as a little 5-wave structure. So shorting it under here, the problem is that it could just go to here and do that, or it could go up here and do that. But because that's in 3 waves as well, it's telling me that it's corrective more so than impulsive to the upside. So as a corrective wave, that means this low here will be taken out at some point in the future. So yeah, it looks a little bit more sort of bearish here, so we can push that wave 1 away from there, and I think I'll push that away, and the B wave away. Oops, the wrong one. And I'll just leave the C wave here, just so I know I've been talking about it a bit. So it's probably something like this, and then down for 3, 4, 5 of the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave here. Be something like that. So there is a short trade in here if you like this market. We might need to look at that as 1 and 2. But most of the markets have done their third wave, you know, so I'm a bit reluctant. And I'll leave it like that. So in a nutshell, another way you could look at it is that the 320 here, the number 2, so major level, minor group 1, if this becomes the resistance, because this is what we normally look for in a downtrend, if number 2 becomes the resistance, then it's highly likely to be pulled down to this number. So that would be the short trade. There'll be a strong bounce here that will give you some grief, but if you can sort of ride that rodeo, then you can pick the trophy up at the end. So I'll leave that there. And we're over at Tesla. So Tesla's another one that we can count 5 waves up here. So a little bit messy, I know. But we've been looking at it as wave 1 here. And we noted that there was a little 5-wave structure coming down here as 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, ABC for the fourth and the fifth. So we had that 5 waves here. So we figured that we'd get a correction over to here, and then down again. So I could put wave C here with wave 2 here. This is the 50-60% retracement level here. So you could take money off the table at this point. But I couldn't see it going up by itself. Do you know what I mean? So coming back into the bigger picture here, and you know, because I've always had this as counted reasonably well as a 5-wave structure down here. So having it as the A wave and the B wave and the C wave down here, I think sort of okay as well. But you know, it hasn't sort of let go of the top up here yet, you know. So yeah, I think it's probably a good idea at least to either take the money off the table here if you're short, or at least take some off at the 250 here, because there will be a bounce once it tries to cover that gap there. There is another gap further down here, of course. I don't know the importance of that with this market. I mean, gaps to me are just they're important, more important in the futures market, but to the degree a market covers its gaps in its own history, you know, it might be 100%, it might be 70%. Well, then that's the numbers that you can use, you know. It's as simple as that. Okay, so yeah, I'll leave it at that. So yeah, we've got stocks going down and we've got the bonds going down. So these are the iShares here. As you know, we've been talking about this for feels like a decade actually, but yeah, they've still got further to go there. So yeah, maybe, you know, once these bonds load down here and the yields top out, then we can see this rally here. But the bonds and the shares, you know, they're not always in sync. They're not as, you know, everybody thinks that they are, but they're not. Obviously they're not. You can see that they've been coming down here for quite some time. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks. Cheers.